Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fatim, for the opportunity of having to have an interview with you. This is a very good initiative where IFAD and the farmers in person meeting. It is definitely very, very good because it shares some information and we also share experiences. But first of all, let me say thank you very much to IFAD through their regional office in Ivory Coast for the hosting of this very important interaction exchange between IFAD and the farmer organizations. And I will also say thank you very much to ROPPA for the organization, particularly the president of ROPPA, Mr. Ibrahim. But again, my special thanks goes to the steering committee for West and Central Africa, which I chair personally. First of all, the interaction is very, very good because this shows us that, or tells us that the IFAD farmers are considered as a central point to the IFAD investments in our different countries. Like I said, the challenges around climate change, the challenges around COVID-19, and the challenge around the new layer of crisis in Ukraine has really constrained the farmers, particularly when it has to do with access to food and feed for livestock and income. So the interaction, first of all, is going to look at how can IFAD support farmers institutionally. That is institutional strengthening is very, very key, because that is the core function or the central nerves for all farmer organizations to be supported in trying to facilitate their day-to-day activities. And secondly, it's also important for IFAD to support economic initiative programs, because I think that is the only way that farmers can sustain their program. They need to have a scheme or an initiative that is going to be generating funds or income for them in the long run, particularly when most of these projects ends around different countries. So, and the other thing also is that how can IFAD also support institutional strategy plan, because I think in the strategy plan this is where we can make our priorities, and then we can make our, it gives a sense of direction. I think what they need to do is to see how this particular area is being supported, because there's no way that you can operate as an organization when you don't have up-to-date strategies that will be guiding your priorities. And the other one also is to look at our governance and management. It's very central that the support that we receive from IFAD should also look at how do they build the capacity of the administrators, how do they build the capacity of the technical team of our different countries, and how do they also build the capacity of our membership and also our focal people that are already established at our different regions to help us coordinate and also collect information and data. I think what is very critical here is how can IFAD facilitate farmer organizations in our different countries to create a dialogue between farmers and government, so the government will also understand that we are there to support their policies, their strategies, their interventions. We are not a counterbalance to what most government feels, but rather we also contribute, because at one point we also create employment, we also generate income for our membership. These are all schemes that we need to look at. And the other one also is to see how do we respond to climate change. How do we ensure that IFAD supports activities that has to do with adaptation programs to build the resilience of the farmers, because we all know that climate change is real, and the only way we can do things differently is when our capacities are built. And finally, also is to look at how do they connect production along the value chain to market. Because in doing that, they also need to see how IFAD supports, economic initiatives that has to do with value addition, for example. Because we want to sustain our programs, we want to really be more climate resilience. There is need to see how we avoid selling our goods raw by adding some values to our goods, to be able to attract more finance from the marketing. And again, the post-service management also is very, very central and very, very key. I think, in short, what we need to look at is how do we, how do we IFAD support the farmers along the value chain to also reduce post-service losses. But finally, I think there is need to encourage some, at least a third-party monitoring, and that cannot be happen in the absence of mobility. My request to IFAD is they need to support farmer-based organizations, the Apreciations farmer-based organization, in terms of accessing, at least monitoring and also evaluating their people. I must also say once again to IFAD, thank you very much to IFAD for the initiative of establishing the regional farmers forum, but also there's also need to see how also they scale that down to the national farmers forum. So at least there will be a connection between the national initiatives and the regional one and also the global one. Thank you very much for the interview. Thank you. Bye.